Good morning, St. John's folks. Father Art here for my Monday morning 8:38 message. It's chilly. Even I will say it's chilly today. And winter feels like it's finally setting in. I keep my thermostat in my house a little chilly, so I wear sweaters around the house. But, one of the beautiful things about living in Minnesota is that we get to experience 4 seasons. Some of the seasons are a lot shorter than others. Winter tends to be a longer season, but I encourage you to embrace winter. Get outside and walk around, or when we get some snow, if you're a skier or a snowshoer, if you feed the birds. Yeah, it's just a beautiful time of the year. And we're in the church year, we're kind of switching gears as well. There is a long season in the church year called the season after Pentecost. And yesterday was the last Sunday in the season after Pentecost. Or it's also in the old-fashioned terms was ordinary time, is what we used to call it. But this coming Sunday is the first Sunday in Advent, and Advent is only 4 Sundays long, and then we move into Christmas season. And Advent is really a time of preparation. It distinguishes itself from Lent, in that Lent is a time of contemplation, focusing on ways that perhaps we've fallen short of God's dream for our lives. But Advent is a time of preparation, where we prepare for certainly the coming, to hear the story of the coming of Jesus all those years ago, but also the continual advent of the Holy Spirit into our lives, so that we can live lives of love more fully. And Advent is a time of preparation and also a time of contemplation. Unfortunately, it is also kind of a hectic time in our culture as we ramp up for Christmas. And that is antithetical to what we try to do in the church, which is to slow down during the season of Advent. So what I would encourage you to do, I know that most of our lives are really busy during the season of Advent, but intentionally set apart a time in your day where you can just take a pause, breathe deeply, reflect on God's Spirit moving in the universe and moving in our hearts and our minds and our lives, and prepare to hear that story once again of God's coming to us in the form of Christ, and God's decision to remain with us and to never abandon us. It really goes to the core of who we are as Christians. And so I encourage you in this season of Advent to do that. This coming Sunday is the first Sunday in the season of Advent. And we have lots of things planned. But before I talk about those, I want to thank everybody who came out for the Thanksgiving feast. We had a big feast at the church in the parish hall on the Wednesday prior to Thanksgiving, the day before Thanksgiving. Lots of people put in lots of time to make that work. Mark Sears came the day before and was working on turkey. Sarah Harker Olson, she did a ton of work too in the kitchen, setting things up. Pam and Tom Hovey, of course. Sarah Chilton and Lori Addy, who are just stalwarts in the kitchen, and all these folks, so many other folks that I'm not even noting, but folks who really put in a ton of time to make that event happen. So thank you to everybody who came out for that and everybody who put so much work into it. It was a fantastic gathering. If you came, just what a beautiful spirit, delicious food. It was just a wonderful evening. So thanks to all for that. Okay, so Advent coming up. we have a number of things that are on the docket. Let me mention 3 that are happening this coming Saturday. One is starting at, 10 a.m., but is Loaves and Fishes. That's a feeding ministry down in Minneapolis. And you can either meet down there at 10 a.m., and you might not know this, but on the first Saturday of each month, Maggie Howe has a service. It's called First Saturday Service, and we do some sort of service work. And Rising Generations, so that's our children and youth, young adults, all those folks are part of that. But Fishes and Loaves and Fishes is open to all. So 10 o'clock down there at Minneapolis, you can just meet them down there. Or if you want to carpool, we're meeting in the parking lot at 9:15 a.m. So that's the first thing that's happening this coming Saturday. The second thing is that at 11 a.m., the ladies of the church, Ladies Who Lunch, they meet once a month in various restaurants, but the big one of the year is the Christmas luncheon. And that's happening at the Lake Elmo Inn. It's a traditional thing, and usually just lots of folks show up for that. It's just a wonderful gathering. So it's at the Lake Elmo Inn at 11 a.m. I think that there's space still for you. If so, you can call Barb Maloney or Helen Garenbeck, and they can give you more information. But that's 11 a.m. at the Lake Elmo Inn. You're on your own to get yourself there, but it promises to be a splendid time of getting together. So do consider doing that. And then the third thing that's happening this coming Saturday is at 6 p.m. is our Advent tree raising. It's going to happen in our front churchyard, big tree that we'll set up. Bring your own mug for coffee or hot chocolate. We'll have some other treats out there. We'll have a small liturgy around the Advent tree, and then we'll light it up with blue lights for the Advent season, and it will spectacularly change to white lights come Christmas Eve for the Christmas season. So this is a new thing we're doing, and Emily Bruner and that Bruner clan, they take the lion's share of the work here. But come and join us on Saturday at 6 p.m. for the Advent tree raising. And then we're into Advent and all that Advent promises. We do this year, we have a resource table that as you're heading in from the parking lot into the church, there's a table there. And we have Advent calendars and other reading materials, some things that might help you in the journey of Advent this year. And again, I really encourage you to take some time. And I know it's busy. I'm not asking you not to be busy, but what I'm saying is just take some time, intentional time to pause. Maybe a particular time each day to pause and just reflect on the big things of life. And particularly God's promise to be with us in this journey of life and to never leave us. Oh, one last thing I'll say about Advent too is our deacon, Margaret Thor, does a Facebook Live morning prayer service every weekday morning in the season of Advent. So go to Facebook, look up St. John in the Wilderness. You can also get there through a link on the e-news, and you can also get there through the website. So lots of ways to get there, but every weekday morning, I think it's at 7:30 a.m., Margaret will be leading us in morning prayer. And you don't have to do a thing. Margaret does the readings, and you don't even have to have your face shown. So if you just woke up, that's all right. So I encourage you to do that too. Maybe that would be part of your Advent discipline this year. Instead of giving something up this year, you can do that too if you wish. But instead of doing that, maybe adding a little something, a time of pause or a time of prayer. for this Advent season. So that's enough. And I hope you have a great day. Enjoy. Look at the sunshines out there and get outside and walk around and enjoy God's creation. And I just pray that you will have a sense of God's presence with you today and this week. If you need anything, give us a call at the church or stop on by. We're usually there Sunday through Thursday. And we would love to see you. Take care. God bless. See you soon.